Hey there, I'm Jamie Smith of CF Pro Tools, and in this video I want to give you a quick demonstration of a new add-on called CF Disable States. And this is if you are using US only shipping, so you're only shipping to the United States, and you're using the CF State Selector add-on, so it gives you an actual drop-down list of the United States individually, and I got this request in to say, hey, I'm doing an offer where I'm offering 2-day shipping, but I can't ship to you Alaska and Hawaii in that 2-day period, so I want to exclude them. Is there a way to do that? You could also use this for something like if you were selling something that was legal in some states but not in all, like CBD oil, where hey, I can't ship this to certain states because it's not legal there, or I only want to ship it to certain states. This add-on is going to allow you to do that. And so let's go ahead and get this set up. I'll show you how it works. We'll show you what a demo of what it looks like, and we'll go from there. So I have got just a basic funnel built here, an order form, order confirmation page, and a thank you page. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to modify my order form here. I'm going to click Edit Page. I'm going to open this up. And the first thing I'm going to do, because it's the first thing that I try and do each time, even though it seems like I always forget until it's too late, I'm going to go ahead and change the SEO metadata. This is something you should always do right off the bat. That way you don't forget it later. We're just going to call this my awesome CF. Oh boy, I can't spell this evening. There, my awesome CF Disable States demo. And then I'm going to get rid of this stuff just because I don't like it. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't like it. And I'm going to put in CF Pro Tools. And there we go. So now let's go ahead and save that. Now we are ready to rock. Okay, so we've got a basic 2-step order form here. And on this 2-step order form, we have country and we have state province, which is just a regular input field. So somebody could type in whatever state province. And this is great if you're shipping to internationally. But if you were in that instance where, hey, I'm only shipping to the United States and I want to use a state selector so that they get a drop down for states instead of having to type that in, that is great. It saves a ton of time, and it also saves on customer service because a lot of people will misspell their own state sometimes, and some systems don't like that, and they will kick orders out, and you'll just have all kinds of issues. So that's why I created those two. So let's go ahead and install those first because they're going to need to be there if you want to use the Disable States. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the CF Pro Tools members area, and I'm going to go into the VIP Club add-ons, and I'm going to grab first the State Selector add-on. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. I'm just going to copy that code. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go into Settings, Tracking Code, and Footer Codes. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to paste that in. So that is the states. So that's going to give us the state drop down here. And then the other one is the CF US only shipping. And that is actually going to be in the free add-on section. And I like to use the one that is the US only shipping disabled. That's going to show the field so they know that it's so they know the country field is there. They can see it, but they can't change the value. It's set to United States, and it will stay as United States. So we're going to go ahead and go into, again, tracking codes and footer codes. I'm going to go ahead and put this up at the top. I'm going to paste that one in. This might look slightly different for you. It's dependent on when this is recorded, because I do need to go in and add in the copyright notice at some point for that one. And there are whole videos on installation of these two things. They're super simple, but we're going to go ahead and install those because we need them for the next one, which is to disable certain states. And so let's go ahead and let's actually just preview this now so we can see what this looks like before we put this in. And so we can see right now, let me do this in another window because I have been to this one before. And so it's going to repopulate for me. So we'll open this in a new incognito window. And I'm going to close out these two windows. And so now we get the United States is locked in here, and we get the select state. So now we get a drop-down menu of all the states. And so that's what we'd expect with this one. What I want to do, though, is I want to disable Alaska, and I want to disable Hawaii, and I want to give them a label that lets people know that, hey, these things are disabled. It's not available in Alaska or Hawaii. And so that's what I want to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this code right here, and this is also going to come from your members area. I just haven't installed it there yet because I'm recording this video so I can do that. So we're going to grab all of this code. The things that you'll want to keep in mind is this: there is a list of state codes that you can disable. So in this case, I have HI for Hawaii and AK for Alaska. You can add to this list if you want to disable for Alabama as well. You could do AL. If you wanted to, disable for Indiana, you could do IN. If you wanted to disable for Idaho, ID. So on and so forth. You can put as many in there as you want, and they'll be disabled, and they're actually going to show a label of not available. And so, yeah, so you can actually copy that. And as I'm thinking of this, you know what? We're going to just make one more change. So you get to go along for the ride. So, I'm going to add a variable here called NA message. And we're just going to call this NA message. NA message. There we go. And I'm going to make this a space, dash, space, and then not available. And if you want to make that something else, then you can add your own message. And we're just going to make this, we're going to replace this right here. You don't need to do all this. I'm just doing this on the fly because I'm recording, and we're just going to do it all in one shot. Okay, so that is that. So all you need to do is, if you want to change your message, then you can change this not available to something else if you wanted to, or you could just remove it entirely. You could just leave it blank, and it will just not add a message. So you can leave that blank, and then you can update your list of states that you want to exclude. So this would exclude Hawaii, Alaska, Alabama, Indiana, and Idaho. So that's how you would do that. Just make sure they're quoted and they're comma delimited. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these other three that I added because I really only want Hawaii and Alaska in this case. I'm going to go ahead and copy all of the code, and I'm going to go into my editor. And so I'm going to go back here to my editor. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to tracking code and go to footer codes. And then let's go ahead and put this down below. This one needs to go below the CF state selector add-on because it needs to have created the state selector before you can remove or disable items from it. So this one is important, the order of these things. You have to install the CF state selector first, and then you can install this one below it. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to go ahead and click on save. And then let's go ahead and go back here, and we're going to go ahead and refresh this page. And it's going to go ahead and load this one up. And now we have a state selector, and our country is locked down. Again, you don't really want to use the state selector if you're not using the USA only shipping because it gives you a list of US states. So you kind of need to have that in place. If you left the country available to select, then somebody can select a state, but they can select a Canada or Ireland or whatever. So, but you can see now that we have all these states are available to select except for Alaska, which shows as not available, or Hawaii, which also shows as not available. So that is how to use the CF disabled states add-on, and that's how you get it installed, and that's how you're going to configure it. You can add your own list of states, and you can add your own message here. So say, for example, if we didn't want to have a message, we just want it to be disabled, we would just do this. We're going to go ahead and copy that again. I'm going to go ahead and go back into my editor. It's settings, tracking code, and then footer codes, and then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Delete that out, and I'm going to paste the new one in, and you'll notice this one has the no message there. It's just a blank string, and we'll go ahead and save that, and I'm going to go ahead and click save, and we'll bounce back. We'll refresh this one more time, and then we'll take a look, and now we have a list of states, and now we can see that Alaska is disabled. I don't get an extra message now, though. It just says Alaska. It's grayed out. I can't click it. I can't select it. There's nothing I can do. It will not let me select Alaska. So that is disabled. People can't select that. But I think that having that not available message makes it clear that they can't select that and the offer is not available in that state. So I would stick with using that. And so we're going to go in and we're again, just going to go in again to tracking codes, footer codes. I'm going to delete this version and paste the new one in and save my page. And then again, we'll refresh, and we can see that when we get select state, that Alaska not available and Hawaii not available, and that's what we'd expect. So hopefully that all makes sense. Hopefully you can put this to good use, and I hope to see you in another video soon.